Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so for this one we are back in Three Barreled Cove, and we're going to be taking on the second part of Garl's tomb here. Now there's a couple of ways to get here. Is you can enter in, you could run up and around, come to Garl's tomb. Again, this is out in Three Barreled Cove. Or, if you look at the map, I've only went to about here. I just talked to that person and ported out to Garl's tomb. Again, that only is an option if you've already done the first part. So, Grey Gar Grey Garl itself is in the waterfall, and let's jump in. It also seems my hireling has expired. Right here. Okay. So, just like when we were here before, the layout itself is the same. They have changed
The
the
feel
enemies.
of this place has changed. The air is strangely cold now, and the scent of old decay has replaced the troglodyte's musk.
Yeah, so the enemies, they've changed, minus like this first one here. They still have the oozes there. Some rims. Nice. But instead of the troglodytes now, they have undead enemies. So the first group, as you can see, is right here at the bend. Actually, this is about the same spot that that first group of troglodytes is. Alright, and as these are blackbone, I do want to point out they are, well, one, they're immune to cold because skeletons, but blackbones are also immune to fire as well. So just keep that in mind when, if you're slinging some spells. Alright, so just like before, our objective is to hop down here into the water and pull the levers. But again, we can come across the bridge and drop, any type of crowd controlling effects, um, so that we can fight these
As
gargoyles,
the
which
chest
spawn
breaks
the
open,
moment you
the
open the
gargoyles
chest here.
around the chamber shudder to life. Grey Garl kept his treasures well protected.
So this does respawn both times that you do this part here. Alright.
The chill flows out from behind the falls, so strong that the water makes your feet numb.
Alright, so last time we had a large group of troglodytes here. This time all there is just the ooze. Okay. So we got another group of enemies. Alright, once everyone is dead, we do have a shrine here again. It is hidden behind a locked door, so if you want to gain access, you do need to pick locks or use the knock spell, or even a bell of opening. From here, we'll just head west
A grating
into this one.
whisper drifts out of the dark from beyond the vault.
At the very top of the stairs, near the door,
Dog.
there will be a spawn.
You will never see the sun
Uh,
again.
So yeah, this spawn comes in after we pulled these levers. So if you remember and did the first one, same thing there. But this one spawns in the moment that we pull these levers here. So I placed the turret just to cause a distraction. There we go. now for this part.
Unholy light shines from the sarcophagi lining this corridor. Garl's wrath has corrupted them. They must be destroyed.
Alright, so as he mentioned there, and as we receive the optional of destroying the sarcophagi, now I do want to point out that you do need range damage to destroy them, as if we approach, and I will show you here, so just use like fireball. Of course it's not going to let us. You got to kind of aim right in front of them, because if you target direct, they're not going to want to break. Alright, and I'll save this side here, and you'll see what happens. So if you were to run around the corner, so there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more breakables here. We currently have 6 broken. If you proceed ahead without doing that, as you see, a whole bunch of them broke open. 1, 2, 3 of them broke open. It didn't actually give us count for any of them, be it on our sarcophagi destroy 19 or on the count for actually the breakable list. So essentially it broke them without giving you count for them. And that's obviously not what we want, as it is, depending on whether or not you just run right up in there at all, or you know, you break one side and leave the other side, or even if it's just the back view that you're leaving, regardless, it is tough to get the full ransack bonus without taking your time and actually going through and breaking a good majority of them. So even with us missing just those 3, I don't know if we will be able to get it.
And torn and smells of spices and rot.
Alright, so moving on, past the bridge here, we do have some gargoyles. Now you can choose to just hop straight down to pull the levers. I am going to stop to kill these gargoyles here. There we go. And then we can just head down the stairs. So there's no traps, there's no nothing. And again, we could have just hopped straight off the bridge down to these levers to pull them. So there are 3 levers total, just like before. There's 2 on this section, causing you to jump across the pillars, or jump off the bridge and land down here, depending on how skillful you are and what your jump is. And then finally here at the bottom, our last lever. Again, this is just like the last quest. The layout of this quest is almost identical right up until the end. Alright, once you open up that last door, as you can see, we had a couple of enemies spawning at the door. So if you do have ranged attack, as soon as you pull that lever and you see this door open, you can actually start shooting towards the center of the door, and you should be hitting somebody there. Alright, so it does seem that I will be able to get the sarcophagi optional there, as there's still enough left over.
The last of the pirates' sarcophagi crumbles
and
to
we just
dust.
barely made. So as you see, we had there was 2 left over to get that ransack. If we had gone through that tunnel, um, and like not broken any of those breakables at all, we would have not been able to get either ransack or that optional done. So that just goes to show, if you want to get those bonuses, that you would need to like actually stop and go back for that. Alright, so this end fight here is a little bit different. It's actually not the end fight. So when you first get in here, as you see, there were 2 necromancers standing on the center platform.
The air here is
As we
so cold
approach,
that
it is
frost
going to spawn in
rinds
some
the
enemies
stone.
here in the center.
The chill seems to have come from beneath
Now,
the water.
I always, or rather, I never fight in the center, on heroic or on epic, just because I don't like being in such a small, tight, enclosed space. This character is built as a ranged killer. Alright. Once you kill the orange named skeleton, he will drop a treasure room key. Now, you do need that key in order to complete, so make sure you pick that up, and then you can go ahead and grab your loot here. From here, you want to face the north section and just hop down into the water. Right at the
The
bottom,
lock on the
there
door
is a
here
little
looks
door.
complex, but you might be able
This
to
is what you
open
use
it
the
with the
key to
proper
open.
key.
You swim on up, and now we are actually at the end of the quest here.
A chest gleams in the frozen
However,
light.
once we
This
approach that,
is Grey
it's gonna
Garl's
drop
lost
down
hoard. The whispering
some
voice speaks
extra
once more.
fights here. So there's a turret just to prepare ourselves. We're gonna approach. Just give it a second here. Open up the chest,
As the chest opens,
and there we
frigid
go.
wind sucks the last warmth of the room. Old Grey Garl
It's gonna
has
spawn in a
come,
few enemies.
bent on
Now,
protecting his
the only
loot.
important one there is the ghost here. Once
With
the
an
ghost is destroyed,
shriek,
as you see, we
old
did
Grey
get the
Garl
experience.
dissolves like a
So
pestilent
that's all
vapor.
that's required
The
in order to
cold
complete
suffusing
there.
the air begins to fade.
Alright, so now we're gonna recall out. And yeah, that has been Grey Garl's tomb. Now, I do believe that we have also actually just completed our first saga here
A
on this
cave
character.
extends
So I
deep
can
into
go
the
ahead and
rock
show you a
behind
little bit
this
about that there
waterfall.
as well. So we're going to double recall back to town. Now for sagas, sagas are a little different. You don't actually have to turn in the quest itself. Um, you don't even have to have ever picked up the quest. So even if you're red boxing or just in with friends and you've never picked up the quest, you will be able to turn in. So as you can see, we still have a check mark there on the there, check mark there. We haven't actually turned in the quest, but if we come up here and talk to our person here, he will display our reward score. So again, here it is. It's showing all the quests there as part of this chain. We just finished Garl's Tomb Part 2, so we just finished this one here. And then we can actually set to claim current rewards. Now, if you don't have, like here we are at the max bonus that you can get, which is the True Elitist. If one of these quests were done on hard, or even if we'd skipped one, we will have extra options here to either give us details on the next quest, or to upgrade your tier from whatever you're at to the next one. That will cost some of your astral shards, but it does give you that option. So as a reward for a saga, they always give you a choice of one of these options. So there's just a straight chunk of experience. Usually the experience is approximately what you get for one of these quests. Some of the larger sagas and such, you can get rewards that are far more than what you'd get for the quest. They also give you depending on how, like, what tier. So if you go true elitist, I'll just go on that base. It does give you several options of a tome. Plus one, plus two, and I believe there are sagas that can even give all the way up to like plus threes, and I don't know about fours. So that you can get essentially plus three to all your skills. So that's definitely also a useful tool there, as it gives you just a little bit more. Then they also give you a big chunk of guild renown if that's something that you work for. If you're really wanting to put forth your effort to a guild, and then this one I don't understand, but they also then give you some sort of a guild renown reward. So regardless of the big chunk, they give you these small ones, and I always gotta laugh because in this case it's, if I'm taking guild renown, do I want 15,000 or 500? Like I find it kind of silly that this last one's here, but I think that's just a normal coded one where it's every quest reward has the option to give that renown, and I think that's why that happens there. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one, all.